Kytchen, baby, and you know what it means. G Marie gon' come around. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, let's start the show.
It takes a lot of product.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work on a regular basis. And we've seen some of the results walking around, and I'm like, what happened? What's going on here?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times is what I think is happening to the clients. They'll come in and see your hair and say, can my hair do that? And their hair texture isn't even close to what your hair texture is. And it's like, no, your hair can't do that. But I can give you that look, like you said, with a soft curl perm or something like that. So there are options. And when I see it, I just think so many, and then just like you said, color treated. If you come to me and your hair is copper, auburn, red, blue, burgundy, blonde, you're not natural.
Mm-hmm.
So are we defining natural as not relaxed? Or what is natural? Because that's a gray area for me as a professional, because you have people running around saying, I'm natural. And then you're like, you're bleach blonde. That's not natural.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that, are we just saying we're anti-relaxer? I want to see my own natural curl. But once you bleach it, the texture changes.
Exactly.
So, because I was telling my girlfriend last night, I said, you can get that. Would you color your hair though? And we were watching the Tiny Desk concert, and SWV was on, and she had cut her hair really short. The main one who used to wear nails really long, she had cut her hair really short. Her nails were shorter too. And her hair was so cute, and it was blonde. And she's like, well, I would have to relax. I said, no, you wouldn't. Once you lighten it as light as she was wearing, it's going to relax.
Yeah.
You're going to lose some of your curl pattern. So I just, want to define what I professionally see as natural means no chemical, no color, no relaxer, no nothing. It's no, no, and no. Like the meat that has no hormones, no this, no that.
Now, it may not be virgin hair,
right?
Because virgin hair may not have been manipulated with a blow dryer or a flat iron or a heat tool or thermal process. But, natural hair is hair that doesn't have any chemicals in it. And that's the basis of it. What the texture of your hair or the curl pattern of your hair, that's something that's different, because no matter how melanated or unmelanated your skin is, your hair texture can be curlier, looser, tighter, straighter. So there's a variety of hair textures don't always equate with your ethnicity, you know? So I think that people are now starting to realize, wait, there are women of other skin tones and colors that have curlier texture hair that need to use products. And I think that there are a multitude of products that a professional stylist could tell you to use or refer for you to use if you just gave them a chance and went to them, Like if you do have a tighter texture and you don't want the permanent wave as an option to adjust your hairstyle, then you can go with a product that's heavier or, has more of a moisture base or a water base or, a gel base, whatever you need to create that curl pattern in your hair. It's important to find a stylist who can work with you. And you don't have to go to the salon every 2 weeks. I mean, I recommend my clients get trimmed if they're natural, not braided, not doing anything to their hair, at least every 6 months. At the very minimum, trim your hair twice a year, because that's going to help you to maintain the length. It's going to help you to maintain the softness, especially with curlier texture hair. A lot of clients are wondering why they get all that tangling at the ends and like popping when they're brushing through their hair. They need their ends trimmed. But they're thinking that, it's just tangly. Oh, that's just how my hair is. No, your hair is not tangly. You have about 6 inches of split ends, and that's all you're brushing through. So, and then I see some videos online popping up on my feed, and it's like, okay, do I want to really comment on this and engage with this person and let them know, like, hey, you didn't have to do what you did there to get those results? Because I saw one person, she gives people, it's several styles now that I've seen on Instagram that do mushroom cuts when you first come in for your first appointment. They want to cut all your hair off to a short mushroom bob and kind of give you this look to give you the healthiest hair possible. And I understand that that's great, but that look does not work for every facial shape. That look does not work for every hair texture and type. If they're going to sweat it out faster. With really short hair, you can't really wrap it as well. So for me as a stylist, I'm not giving every one of my clients a mushroom cut if they need it. I'm going to work with them on growing their hair out, gradually trim it, so that they can still do a little ponytail at night, or a wrap, whatever they have to do, because at the end of the day their hair didn't get damaged overnight, so I don't have to cut it all off overnight. But she was saying that like the only way to do a precision cut is to blow it out and flat iron it, and I was like, okay, I understand maybe putting the blow dryer on it to get it a little more precise than cutting curly hair with it being wet, but you can cut curly hair wet and precise. If you know what you're doing, then
Correct.
You can make a precise curly cut on all textures of hair.
Correct.
So that unevenness is an issue with the stylist training or education or practice.
Or ability.
Exactly, yes. So I just think that it's like cookie cutter doesn't work to me in the salon. Mm-hmm. You can't just say everybody's getting this today. Because there's going to be someone that's going to come in with a different challenge, and you have to be ready to adapt. Yes. You have to be ready to change. You have to have more than one shampoo in your salon. You have to have more than one type of conditioner. You have to have more than one type of hair serum, because every client is going to require a different set of skills. And I just think that that's something that a lot of the Instagram stylists are lacking. I'm not going to use the negative term to describe them, but they can only do one thing basically. And I feel like being a cosmetologist, we're literally given the ability to be a jack of all trades in our industry, because we can do hair, skin, or nail care. So if you choose to only do hair, that's your choice. But you can practice skincare or nail care as well. So personally, I like to do everything in the beauty industry. I want to do your pedicure. I want to do your manicure. I want to do your facial. I want you to come to me and stay here for 3 or 4 hours and get fully serviced and then walk out the door without having to make several different stops. Like, a lot of my clients value the fact that they can come to one place and get everything done, and they don't have to make 3 different appointments for one day. Drive over here, drive over there, drive over here, drive over there. So I just want us as stylists to take time to get back into the habits that are going to make the clients feel comfortable again. Because if you feel like you're losing clientele, if you feel like your book is not building, there's some training, there's some course, there's some business education that you could take that will help to make you a better stylist. And then I guess just as far as the clients with natural hair, reach out, look for someone in your area who does natural hair that can be a guiding light for you, because you don't want to spend hundreds of dollars on products to keep getting the same results, when you can really, when you can really work with somebody. And if you don't have a stylist in your area, find somebody that offers video consultations. A lot of the software that we use as stylists today has that feature built in, and they can get on the phone, they can look at your hair from online, and just like you do the virtual consult with your doctor, you can do a virtual consult with the stylist. So definitely look and explore your options before you just reach out and go to the first person you find online.
And I wanted to get into that was just very good description. I wanted to backtrack onto the value of the cosmetology education, and just saying, if you feel like cosmetology is what you want to do, definitely go to beauty school or apprentice in a salon. Get under a good senior cosmetologist. Check them out though. Just like anything, you have to do your research. But I feel like there is definitely value in the license. And I would like to see us, as we talked about, start hashtagging licensed cosmetologists on your work so that people know I'm a licensed stylist. Of course, I'm going to shampoo your hair. When I started, I was like, that is so cute. Yes. Of course, I'm going to shampoo your hair, as she's putting the towel and the cape on the client at the shampoo bowl. I was like, of course. Like, you can't come to me and just say, I just want my hair flat ironed. And I do know a stylist who, after she learned how to cut, she couldn't cut without blow drying and flat ironing first. And I'm like, okay, well, you have natural hair clients who don't want their hair blow dried. So what are you going to do? You got to know how to pull the tension. You got to know, once you cut it, where is it going to be after you cut it? Do I need to cut this a little longer so that it's where she wants it? Because if I cut it where she wants it, it's going to be way too short. So there are techniques and things you learn in cosmetology school in the foundation, especially when it comes to cut, color, and chemicals. So, and then I responded to a post. Like you said, sometimes it's like, do I really want to respond? Because the stylist said she had an old client call her and she wanted to have her hair done. And when she gave her the price, she was like, there's absolutely no way I'm paying that. And I was like, and she said, what? She said, I raised my prices. It took me time to finally feel the confidence to raise my prices. And now I have an older client who I haven't done in years calling me saying, and see, right there, I was like, older, haven't done in years. Wait a minute. grocery store, haven't been in years. Eggs are, were 10 cents when I went in the store last. Now they're $10. I mean, let's just get with it. Like you said, inflation is here to stay and prices are not going backward. And we have to live too. And it's not about, like she said on the video, trying to support their lifestyle. I got to support myself, period. I got to pay for my lights, my gas in two places, in where I work, and then I got to pay it at home. So there was one stylist who, because they said, she asked, could we drop our prices in there? And I said, I always get sideways looks when I drop my prices in there. But if you ask me and I get a chance to tell you what my career has consisted of over the 40 years I've been in the business, I have been behind my chair, I've been on set, I've worked shows, I've missed out on children's activities because I was somewhere working in the hair business. It just goes on and on and on. So no, my time for doing hair and being behind my chair is very valuable. So the one woman responded with what her prices were, and it was for a partial highlight, cut, and blow dry. And I think hers said like $305, and she said she was in Southern California somewhere. And what happened to her is exactly what the consumers do to us. A stylist comes right in, because it's a stylist group, and says, oh my God, I'm only 10 minutes from you and there's no way I would charge that. I was like, okay, well, and then I mentioned, well, I'm going to go into detail. When I took over managing one of the corporate salons, there was a stylist in there whose work was awesome, and she was a master. There are 3 levels of stylists in this particular salon. And when I got there, I reviewed all my stylist prices and said, it's 2018. You're charging $35 for a silk press. And she was like, yes, because I can't even imagine. I was like, wait, what? 35. And I had to think back. You and your sister were probably 4 and 9 when I was charging $41 for a shampoo, blow dry, and curl, because people were still getting relaxers back then. I was like, wait, what? The average silk press in 2018 was starting at about $75. She was way under the mark. And I said, would you like to, she said, because the manager wasn't comfortable with her changing her prices, which would have complaints come to the manager. And if you're a salon manager who doesn't have the expertise or experience to help a stylist through a price increase, then of course you want to make your job easier and you don't want to deal with it. I said, that's the only reason she didn't want you to raise your prices. I'll give you the conversation. I'll talk to you. I'll tell you everything. And we changed her prices at my first week at work. I said, let's get to 75. Welcome to the Hair Kitchen. Let G. Marie take care of your hair. Visit us on Style Seat for appointments or call 443-490-5777 and follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. There's something for everyone in the Hair Kitchen. And majority of her clients didn't complain. They actually tipped her more. They knew they were getting a steal. That wasn't even a deal. That was a steal, y'all. So, I just think sometimes it's the environment that is supportive or not supportive of what you're trying to do. So let's talk a little bit about hair care products. And well, no, you already talked about hair care products. You talked about helping them with the natural hair and things like that. Client expectations and professionalism, because that right there on, oh my gosh, people would be coming out of these people's houses. And like one girl said, like, I'm trying to find the location. She's standing in the middle of an apartment complex. So I'm like, if that's, and I'm not knocking people who work at home, because my shop was at home for years, but it was in my basement. It was a separate entrance. And when people walked in, they were like, oh, wow, I wasn't expecting this. They probably were expecting to be in my kitchen with my kids running around. I'm eating some fried chicken, talking on the phone or whatever. And none of that was happening when I was home-based. It was a separate entrance. I had a shampoo area, reception desk. Taylor used to answer phones, get my clients started, put the bass on. She was one of the best assistants I had. And I'll never forget the first time you shampooed my hair. And I was like, oh my God. And I just started laughing. I'm laying back in the bowl and I'm laughing. And you're like, what are you laughing at? I said, oh my God, this must be what it feels like for my clients to get a shampoo, because people say the shampoo is really good. I don't know if you get that today when you shampoo, but I still get it. And I was just amazed at every technique and movement that she did felt like what I do, but I've never enjoyed it like that, because when I shampoo my own hair, it didn't feel that good. But you shampoo my hair that day, I was like, wow, this is really good. So, client expectations and professionalism. What's your take on that?
I think that professionalism is of the utmost importance. Like, your ability to interact with the clients, get them to trust you and, believe in you and have faith in you is all based on how professional you are. You won't believe how many people tell me like they like that I talk them through everything that I'm doing. And that's just second nature to me because that's how I was trained. Like, that's what I was brought up doing. Like, you explain to people when you're touching them what you're doing and why you're doing it or how this is going to benefit you. Like, I'm not a salesperson, but my clients buy retail because I spend the time educating them on what it is that I'm using during the service and how it's going to interact with their hair, how it's going to benefit them, or, what it's going to do for their skin, all the things. And then it doesn't convince them, but it allows them the opportunity to realize that, hey, I may want to use this at home because it made my hair feel so great in the salon, or it made my skin look so great that day when I left after my facial. So I think that if the client has that expectation of professionalism and it's not met, then now you're getting this rant online that's now condemning the whole industry. It's bringing everybody down because you didn't take that extra step to be more professional, to have that level of customer service and that quality of environment for the clients to feel really comfortable and want to come back. This is why it's important to pay for what you want, because at the end of the day, again, I'm going to keep comparing McDonald's to somewhere more high end, but McDonald's is the golden standard of fast food. So not every McDonald's is the same. So no, I'm not saying all budget stylists don't have good customer service, because Chick-fil-A is out here telling you to have a wonderful day every day, whatever they say. I was gonna say, I know something they say, but so do you want to, in your budget, you can find someone who offers what you need in your budget, and that's okay. Just because that stylist isn't for you doesn't mean that you knock how they're charging or you knock their prices. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. Just keep it moving, because it's not for you. What's for them and we for them, and what's for you is for you. But I think the minute you start thinking in a more abundance mindset, like, oh, wow, my stylist went up on her prices, that means she's going to be able to do more or live more life. I want to live more life too. Maybe I need to go ask my job for a promotion or a raise. So usually people get annual raises and annual bonuses. Yes. Most cosmetologists and stylists are not giving themselves an annual raise because they don't want to impact the client. They don't want to hurt you guys during a time of inflation. So consider that. And if your stylist has not gone up on their price in years, value that, appreciate that, give her a tip. Don't just say, oh, I'm just going to give you what you asked for because that's all you're asking me, even though I'm walking around with Louis Vuitton and Gucci shoes and, everything else, all the things, because that's how the clients will be. They'll have all the trappings and everything will look good, but tipping is not expected, it's appreciated. Yeah. And I think that when you go above and beyond and then you're not appreciated by the tip, it's kind of like, oh, well, like I'll just take it as a loss. I'll do another one. But for me, my prices are set to where as though I do not need a tip. I just appreciate a tip. And that shows me that you are seeing the value in what I'm offering, because I'm giving you a discount by making my price the regular price. I'm saying that this is what it is and this is how much it costs, and you're walking in and you're saying, oh, it should be $1 million. Let me give her a little extra because she just shampooed my hair so well. She just made sure I was comfortable. She offered me a glass of whatever she did to step up her customer service warranted that tip. And I think a lot of people miss that with the concept of tipping. They're just like, well, why do we have to tip our stylist? She already charges what she charges. Well, you don't have to tip your stylist, no, but in the U.S. we know tipping is customary. So if you're going to be in this country and follow the order of things, not saying that it has to be exactly how, not saying this country is exactly where it needs to be, but it's customary here. So we're not in a different country working. We're working in the U.S., follow the customs, go with the flow. So I think that it's just up to the stylist to really bring it on back and make sure that all clients feel value, all clients feel like you care, like you want their hair to be healthy and things like that.
And I was also responding on this post, and I said, it's funny, when I've had corporate positions as a salon manager for different companies, no one in those roles talks about what their hourly rate is or how much they make. at all. But we always have to talk about it, because I got to talk to the client. And then you have clients who feel like, she charged me all that, I ain't paying all that. Something, you know, again, like the girl on the video, you're focused on the stylist lifestyle. Don't worry about her lifestyle. Worry about the quality of the service that she's providing for you, as opposed to, I'm not paying her car note. Because I've had that happen as well. You know, I had a client years ago who said, oh, so this is where my money is going. I was like, wait, what? No, your money is going to take care of your hair. Don't worry about what you see, because I made some improvements in the salon, blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, wow, is that what people are doing? But that's what people are doing. Yeah, it's almost a crabs in a barrel kind of effect.
I was gonna say, comparison is a thief of joy. If you only work for, you know, some mid-level management position and you're only making $20 an hour and you don't feel like your stylist should make more than you, that's unfortunate. Like, if you didn't get a level of education that warranted you to be able to grow and be an entrepreneur or set your own prices, once the stylist doesn't work in a corporate salon, they have carte blanche. They're allowed to charge what they want. There's no cap. You don't go to Comcast and say, they didn't go to Comcast and say put a cap on how much they can charge for internet. So if they wanted to charge you $200, $300, $400 a month for internet, that will be the price, you know? So let the stylists live just like other businesses and corporations live. Let us enjoy some of the fruits of our labor. We are hardworking people. We're working with our body. We don't get a lot of benefits and stuff paid to us up front. So we have to pay those things out ourselves. So it's like, what are you really complaining about? Are you just mad that you're not making as much as your stylist is making? And then if you are, reevaluate some things in your own life. Maybe go to cosmetology school yourself, and then you can have those same opportunities that your stylist has. You know, so I think that a lot of people, I'm not saying that they're hating or anything, but it's just like, because they can't attain it, they don't understand how you can attain it. Exactly. And, you know, what you manifest in your life is kind of indicative of what your thoughts and behaviors are. So if you're stuck somewhere stagnant, as an individual, don't be upset with the stylist because you're not on her level. You know, she worked hard for that. So I just think that that's the way it needs to be. It needs to be more balance and understanding, acceptance and understanding.
My gosh, it's been a lifetime for me of defending my pricing and what I charge, and listening to people try to negotiate. And I'm like, this is not a flea market. What are we talking about right here? I'm not selling an old used handbag. I'm taking care of your hair. And the cost of products, and I like nothing but the best. I want all of the main brands, manufacturers who have already done the research and development. I don't have to come in and kind of try to figure it out. I just have to follow the instructions and practice how they recommend, and then put what I know will work on the client. But, you know, I'm not over here mixing a concoction and putting that on my client. Not saying there's anything wrong with that. That's just not my practice. I'm more of the stylist who stays on the modern medicine side as opposed to the home remedy, and it's room for everybody. So well, I would like to say thank you so much. This was a great talk. I hope that our information helps some of you out there who are watching the show. And if you are someone who wants to go to beauty school, I say do it. I say take the leap and go and find the school that works for you. Do your due diligence. Look at several different ones before you make your final decision. What are you getting? Do you feel like there's value in the price of what they're charging for the education and your outcome? But what I will guarantee, that if you get your finish and get your cosmetology license, you will be able to be gainfully employed in a lot of places. And then that's a whole nother show of working through everybody that owns a salon is not a business owner and not a good person to work for, or is a good person to work for, and how you kind of find that, because that's another one. That's a big one too. So I'd like to say thank you so much. Nose to Toes hosted us today. And where can they find you, Taylor, if they'd like to seek out some of your services?
Okay, you guys can find me on Instagram at Nose to Toes Beauty. And you can also find me on Facebook, Nose to Toes Beauty. And then I do have a Bagara booking site, but you can get the link from either of those places. So thanks so much for having me. It was a pleasure, and I can't wait to see you again.
All right. So again, Nose to Toes Beauty. If you need wax or full service, because she does waxing, She does hair care. She's adding the nails. I'm not sure when the pedicuring is coming, but she likes to do full beauty. Me, on the other hand, I'm the neck up. So I can definitely help you out as well. And if you're watching this on YouTube, we want you to like and subscribe and follow us for notifications so you can see our next show when it comes out. And I'd like to end with, is there anything that we didn't talk about or any question that I didn't ask that you would like to elaborate on for the viewers?
No, I think we went in pretty deep on most of the subjects, and I think that we did a good job, covering all the topics. I just want to end on, your hair is definitely deeper than what surface level, what you think. You really have to put a lot of energy into maintaining it and keeping it up, whether it's going to be with a stylist or by yourself. So don't get discouraged, just keep working at it. It's going to be with you for your lifetime. It's going to change. It's going to go gray. It's going to do its own thing. So just be out here exploring and getting those options together so that you can have the healthiest hair possible.
Excellent. Well, thank you again, Taylor and Nose to Toes, for hosting us, and we'll see you all in the next one. Bye.
It's the Hair Kytchen, baby, and you know what it means. G. Marie gon' come around. She gon' really lay it down. She gon' tell y'all all about all the things she knows about beauty in this industry. Everything you need to see. Hair color and history. Business opportunities, so you better listen up real good. The Hair Kytchen is in your hood. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, let's start the show.